Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto. Hope you're having a great day. So yesterday I did my normal Sunday roundup, but of course, Super Bowl. But today we're going to start digging into a few topics, like the SEC again. The SEC is targeting Paxos. And the reason why they're targeting Paxos is because the SEC is alleging that BUSD, the stablecoin, is an unregistered security. Hold that thought in your head and then overlay the fact that BUSD has been in circulation for a while now. Late to the game, no clear direction on what is a security and what is not, no clear regulations on stablecoins. And instead of working with the industry, they want to sue the industry. Here's what's going to happen. The industry is going to up and leave. Straight up. The industry will leave any country that cannot work with the industry instead of working against the industry. The SEC is working actively against the crypto industry. Period. Period. Who are they protecting? What is their mandate? It is to protect us from being schemed upon, right? Being schemed. But how do you make that argument when you have all kinds of exchanges, having to jump through hoops, all that good stuff, and then coming out years later after the fact saying, oh yeah, by the way, that's not right. What is it that's wrong? What is it that we were supposed to do? Where's the form? Where's the process? We gladly would have done it. So Paxos is next up on the list. You're going to see companies leave the United States and open up in other countries where there's a little bit more clarity or they're a little bit more positive toward crypto. That's what you're going to see. You're going to see decentralization start to take off. Why? Because you can't go after something that's decentralized. Straight up, right? Here's something else for you. So while the SEC is going after retail, identifying retail opportunities to hit, the CME Group is saying institutional investors are spiking in terms of asking them for their crypto services and products. So you're focused on what could be offered to the retail investor, but you're not paying any attention or don't even care about what's going on the institutional investment side. So institutional investors and accredited investors, they can run off and do whatever they want. But the retail investor, because we must be stupid, is not allowed to do anything. I think you're going to see bright flight as well. You're going to see companies leave. Then you're going to see bright flight happen. And that's going to be the case until the United States wakes the hell up and says, yeah, we're not going about this the right kind of way. There needs to be a uniform set of regulations for crypto, right? And remember, I told you about how Paxos was actually being investigated by the New York State Department of Finance. Lay out some rules and guidelines and make companies have to abide by them. There are already a lot of coins that you cannot get in New York. There are crypto exchanges you cannot work with in New York if you're a New York State resident because of their level of stringent regulation and just not making things clear for other companies. I think that's a problem. I wonder how it's going to work out because, as you know, Twitter is trying to create their payment platform and they're trying to register all over the United States to be able to do it. So that must be an interesting journey to have to deal with different states, different jurisdictions, different regulations, all that good stuff. But all I can see is that there is a pointed effort to utterly squash any kind of growth in retail investment in crypto. That says a lot about the SEC. Who do you work for? That's really what I ask. Hester Pierce says straight up, SEC is, hostile toward crypto. Why? Why be hostile just because it's something new? That doesn't make sense. She doesn't think it makes sense. I don't think it makes sense. Right? Some good news. If you're going to expand in Europe, Luxembourg is one of the places you should be domiciled in because it's easier to expand in Europe. That's just an all-around business kind of thing. I worked with a few companies that were expanding in Europe, and we had to create some Luxembourg-based vehicles to make it easier to do so. Tax purposes, all that good stuff. Well, Bitstamp is based in Luxembourg. And what did they do? They just got the green light from France regulators to operate in France. That's awesome news. Awesome news. They're following on the heels of Coinbase, Crypto.com, Binance. That's what's up. I think Coinbase. That's what's up. That's a big deal. You want to know something else that's a big deal? Banco do Brasil. What are they doing? They teamed up with Bitfy, an exchange in Brazil, to make it so that people can actually use their digital assets to pay their taxes. What do you think that does for adoption? That's huge. Huger than huge. Because it says to everybody in Brazil, hey, crypto is here. We love it. Do your thing. And I'm sitting back and I'm saying to myself, wow, that's kind of a big deal. That's kind of cool. You're seeing what other countries call underdeveloped, even third world, do things that the larger, more developed countries should be doing, but they're not. This is why I think you're going to see a bright flight from the United States and other countries that are squeezing crypto to go elsewhere. I really do. No one country, no one state owns crypto. It can't be controlled like that. It's one of the positives. You want to know something else that's really cool? I saw that Cathie Wood of ARK Invest and I agree. So does Bernstein. Let's get to Bernstein first. Bernstein released a paper this morning, that says because of regulation in the United States, they're expecting DeFi to grow, decentralization to grow. Cathie Wood and I believe that, yes, DeFi is going to grow. Decentralized finance is going to grow, blossom. It might look like it's difficult at first, like Lido is saying, hey, that we could be seeing some tough waters if, the United States says they're not going to allow, staking at all. That won't happen. You want to know why that won't happen? Because institutional investors want it to happen. That's why. I keep telling you, look at my old, there's just from a few weeks ago, I did a video about how DBS, JP Morgan, and a few other players, Uniswap, Aave, Polygon, were involved in a DeFi transaction. I'm telling you, pay attention, do your research, invest in the right places, or at least be educated in what you want to invest in. It's a really big deal. The more the United States and other countries squeeze crypto, the more they're going to lose control over it. Instead of working with with the industry, they're squeezing it, and there's going to come a point you're not going to be able to do anything. It's not going to be able to be controlled at all. Imagine had the United States, when crypto first came out, had they paid attention and saw where it could go and started thinking, oh, we could do this, oh, we could do that. You want to know something that's really going to be a pain in their ass? Artificial intelligence is going to be a pain in their ass. I can create a character, create my voice, literally my voice. I can have an automated system write in my voice, put all those things together, and I've got a brand new video. I've got brand new content that can drop. Oh, yeah, but that's right. I can do that for anybody's voice, anybody's writing style, anybody's likeness. You heard of deep fakes? You can go way deeper now. And then how is that going to affect the financial industry? That's a very big deal and it's a very big impact. Anyway, let's get to the numbers because I think the numbers are going to tell us something because you're going to see that we've taken a step back and not in a good way. Let's see. Do 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 da do da. Let's see. Da 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 da. Let's just refresh this real quick. So I didn't refresh it for like a couple of minutes. So let's just see where everything is. There you go. So on the downside, you have a lot of projects on the downside. So everybody here, Polygon down 8%. Let's see, I don't follow Secret. OKC down 9%. Let's see, Anchor Network down 9%. Immutable X down 11%. Hedera down 13%. Wow, that's a lot of down. Loopring down 10%. The graph down 10%. So you're seeing big moves downward, and you're not really seeing big moves on the other side in the upward position, right? There's nobody here that I'm paying attention to on this list. Aave, I don't know how they're up 3%, but pretty good on a day that everybody else is down. Just saying. You can see on the big picture that, BTC is below 22,000. Ethereum is down below 1,500. These are all major moves. Matic is down sharply. Remember, just a couple of days ago, it was up at like $1.31, almost $1.32. So that's a big move down. Remember when I told you, I think it was like a week or two ago, that I think that we're going to see a downward move before we pop up again. I'm wondering if this is it. I don't know, but we're definitely down. But I do wonder if, and here's Stitch, I do wonder if, my mother calls them floppy ears. I do wonder, we'll eat in a minute. I do wonder if this is the moment that we're seeing that dip before we pop back up again. I think we're taking the hit right now off of the moves that the SEC is doing because they've had back-to-back moves, right? Kraken, that was a hit. And then now with Paxos and BUSD, that's another hit. However, I think that if we don't see further downward movement, I mean, think about this. Even if Bitcoin was to drop down to $20,000, nobody's going to cry. I think that's the lowest it can go. It's highly possible. If it doesn't smash down now, I think we're coiled and we're ready for another big bullish move. Just saying. Let's take a look at DeFi Llama. All the hits against DeFi right now. Here's 62 billion. We were at like 65 the other day. The Fear and Greed Index, we were in, the green over here, which was greater than 54. Now we're back in neutral territory, in the lower half of neutral territory at 48. That's a lot. That's a lot. A hell of a lot. Let me just log in. I like seeing everything side by side. Come on, shouldn't take that long. There you go. There you go. So here's my watch list. Make sure it's just a watch list. Yeah, it is. So there's Bitcoin down, and you can see how far down they are. Again, something I'm going to point out to you is year to date. Take a look at that year to date. Take a look at the 90. Take a look all the way across. 1 hour, 24 hours, 7 days, 30 days, 90 days, year to date. Pay attention to all of those because they each tell a different story. And you want to know what that story is. All right. And I didn't put myself up. This is very bad editing on my side. Oof. So, but that's what I pay attention to. This is what I'm looking at when I'm there. Cathie Wood is so positive on crypto. She made, I think it was another $9.2 million investment in Coinbase. Just saying. She's in it for the long haul, and I think she's playing the right hand. And if you were paying attention, there was a tweet that Elon Musk replied to, and the question was, tell me what you're talking about. Right? She took a picture. There was a picture of Elon sitting next to Rupert Murdoch, and she said, tell me what you think they're talking about, and wrong answers only. And Elon wrote, Dogecoin. And I sat there and I was like, that's funny, because it popped like 5% and then immediately went straight down. That ought to tell you the difference. That's the difference between Doge and something like a shit. Pay attention to these things. The evidence is right in your face about certain coins and about what they're doing and how they're doing, how they're moving and everything else. I am hoping that Elon does wind up using Doge on Twitter. I do hope for that, but I'm not banking on that. You know what I mean? Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto. I hope my research helps you do your research, and I hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.